This is for an amendment with Garber LLC, who we hired to do the design work of the Frisco Trail extension from MLK to Walker Park, half-mile long trail. The reason we have to exceed the amount of the original contract is because we had an alignment change, which included a new bridge near 9th Street in South School. It helped to avoid a property owner that were basically coming across their property quite a bit. This made it a more straight shot, a little less impact. So the good thing is this is also grant funded for this, and we're still going to be within the amount, $216,000 that we just provided.
Sarah?
Thank you. I requested it be pulled because I have had folks request that they would have a chance for discussion, so I appreciate you being here and also being able to explain some of it. I think the question is about specifically in this case, the rerouting and where that goes. I know it's avoiding the property, but where is it crossing? Can you describe? And I think some of the impact of the property, but also stream and the best management practices that are being used, and if you might address that.
Sure, yeah. The actual bridge will be crossing just south of El Camino. You're familiar with the Mexican restaurant? Between that and there's a little garage. There's actually a 30-foot strip of land through there. We're able to cross the creek directly across and span with the bridge to minimize any impact on the stream. And we will comply with the streamside protection ordinance in every way on that bridge cross.
Any other questions?
Matt, it was pointed out to me, and I have not had a chance to walk out there and look at it myself. You would probably notice that there's already an existing bridge at the end of Church Street, and that there was a concern, why didn't we go through there? Because it does end there at Walker Park. So the current bridge is probably in wider, so maybe you could address that.
Sure, yes, actually, this is what brought to my attention. I went out to the site, actually met with the property owners. There's a business, there's a school district building there just on the west side of the bridge at Walker Park that Central EMS uses for a training facility. And I met with that owner. Basically, to incorporate that trail, we're going to have to take out their parking lot to stay out of the streamside protection zones. It would really limit their business there. It also sends the trail, about over 300 feet too far to the north to come back to the south. And we're following parallel with the creek during that time. So it actually is more potential destruction to the riparian zone going parallel with the creek than just cutting right across and minimally doing the bridge and going straight to Walker Park. So I did look at it, tried to weigh all the alternatives in. I still feel like a straight shot is the best.
Any other questions from the? Yes.
I was let somebody contact me and wanted to I feel like I told them the right thing was that this is just an amendment to the engineering contract. And that is the full contract comes forward, things happen, other things become before the council.
Yeah, I guess the next thing will be when we can get the design all together and we'll be bidding it, competitively bidding this project. So then we'll see it then.
You said there may be some property owners that want to speak, so if you do that.
Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to open it up for public comment on this. Everybody gets one turn to the microphone. Please introduce yourself when you come up. The only the only way you can get another turn to the microphone is if all the person brings you up and asks you questions. Okay? Who would like to be first?
I'm not sure any of the people most concerned are here. But the one area where the bridge goes across, I wouldn't say we'd be taking out their parking lot. They would lose 4 or 5 places that were built there. Speaking of what Mr. Hollidge spoke about. But it is, I guess it's a public entity, the ambulance service that we support, don't support. But anyhow, the route that's to be taken from 9th Street across the stream will take out not just the repairing zone where it crosses, you'll take out a stream that's at the end of Locust Avenue, which is a ditch adjacent to the Vance Auto and the other tire shop that's next to it. And that ditch carries water down to the Spout Spring, Spout Spring branch, where the two of them come together. Branch, formerly known as Toontown, now known as Spout Spring. Some of you guys remember that change. It's a floodway in between those streams. And the house, particularly the house at the very end of Locust, before you get there, they're going to stay out his yard. I'm not putting the trail through there. But anything they do there is going to be in the floodplain because his house is in the floodplain. The water flows around it, very close to getting into it. Every time there's a big rain up here on the hill, water comes down between the two branches. It's water that includes both branches leading and backing up in there, and then the water goes under Walgreens and comes out there in other parts. So those people are all concerned about it regardless of exactly where it goes. And the property owner that Mr. Hollins was speaking about is very concerned about his small lot. He's had it for 20-something years. It's not all that valuable right now, but it loses any of the space that it's able to count as green space for parking lot in this process. It will be very hard for him to sell because it's one of those places, we said, they're grandfathered in. When you guys passed the stream side ordinance, but back his building in the corner, nobody's going to be able to build that close to the stream again. And I'm glad of that, but it's there, it's harmless. Making people take out things is harmless. That's not good. But anyway, he won't have much to sell when the time comes. He wants to retire and sell that business. He's relatively young man, so maybe quite a few years, but I hope the price goes up. But I know we're unable to pay people what they need to get for the use of the right of way or even part of their property. So that's a very important thing to him. He said he didn't want to come here. He's talked to a lot of people who come out there talking about taking the property, getting the property, arranging the deal, what they might pay him, but he hasn't talked to you guys. He hasn't talked to the public in general. So it appears presenting this on his behalf. He is part of my neighborhood, in Town Ranch neighborhood. And the other business is up where the new tunnel will cross. If it is built, the thing you're authorizing money, I understand tonight, primarily for the planning of that downtown area. Those property owners will go between two businesses, small businesses. One of them does screen printing and such for T-shirts. You probably bought shirts that were printed there or had something done there. The other place sells those back here. And in between them is where the tunnel will go. And it will have to start way up behind Greenhouse Grill almost and drop down to slope properly and then come up over in that parking lot. So they will lose parking. They'll probably lose a lot of access while construction is going on. And I'm not sure, we haven't seen a plan that shows exactly how it's going to look. Maybe that's what $26,000 is helping pay for. But I think it's very important that these people be brought into the discussion. I've been to at least one park board meeting where the board went down there and had a meeting. I'm not sure anybody from the public walked over there because there camera along. So a lot of these things have been shown and talked about, but not on public TV, not on government channel. And as much as I know you all try to get your constituents aware of things, a lot of things just get past the people that are most concerned. So I appreciate your listening tonight. And if anything happens, it would be that you notify all those people up down the street that told them that know what's going on. And I know the guys in the little repair shop next to the stream, next to the west side of the South Spring Branch. He's got a shop there. He said he didn't know exactly where it was going. He said he understood it was going down the creek somewhere. But the final plan needs to be something he has input in, because it's on his side of the creek. There's a bridge put in, adjacent to the street or whatever. Those folks deserve to know about that, and the public needs to have input. Thank you for listening.
Who else would like to address this tonight?
I'm Ranger Terry, Southwest Limit, you probably know me. I'm not a resident of Fayetteville, so I can't vote for any of you folks, one way or the other. But I do own a business here in town since about 27 years ago. And several angles you can take to oppose this location of a trail crossing that I have. And I'll leave it up to y'all to decide which one is more personal to me. But you also have public safety, adding another stoplight down one of the busiest arteries for Fayetteville, State Highway. We already have a stoplight at Martin Luther King, and that can be widened to sidewalks and stoplight across right there where people are crossing day to day. There has already been a fatality at that intersection by someone on a bicycle that couldn't seem to negotiate a slow-moving trailer truck turning 90 degrees in that intersection. So we need to be thinking about what we're going to do to put these people out in front of a busy artery like that. Second consideration, my business. It's got so much parking available to me, and at times I need every ounce of it. So I have a concern with my property where I run my business. I have a concern with what I do with it when I choose to retire and pass it on to some other unfortunate soul that would like to make a business or have a business. I didn't start a business, I bought one that was already there. Thank goodness I'm still there. But my main concern is my own investment in properties, public safety, and then also the natural concerns about what could happen with the creek and the development along the creek in the process of just construction alone, and then the after effects then on all the traffic coming through this area. On people on bicycles and walking and whatever, which that's fine in some areas, but you know, I always go to places like this and I've heard from your father, you're destroying my green space. This is the only green space this property has. You're taking half of it. And also another concern is the process about acquiring property. Not just from my experience, because I haven't really got my toe in the water yet. But impressions go a long way. From what I hear, I'm not really encouraged. And what I've heard in past procedures about acquiring property for public use, especially for commercial property that's us business people look at as an investment. It's a lot to do. I put my house up twice for this business. First to buy the business, second time to buy the property. I was thinking I was doing the right thing as a business person. This is where I earn my living. I love Fayetteville, and I support a lot of what you guys do. I know you all great people. Thank you for letting me speak.
Could I ask you what business you're on? I'm sorry.
Harris's Garage. It's the garage in question. It's already been brought up. The shop. The one in question. More or less. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. Maybe it's Matt, or related to the process, and I understand that this is an extension of that contract really related to more input and so on, and sending the time to do that, which is really important. And I'm wondering, there's seems like there's still communication that needs to happen as far as where it is and when we design the trail related to this. And I'm wondering, is there any chance to
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a big part of the process. As I already mentioned, the co-op area, we've been working with them over a year, constantly working with them and making sure, meeting with their engineers, our engineers, making sure it's, the best for everybody, the best possible location that makes the least impact on their businesses. And this, I've met with Mr. Parrish, it's a couple occasions now, and we continue to do that and tweak things. And actually, this amendment is a result of another business across the street called Mountain Mechanical, and we were going across their parking lot originally, and with the streetside protection ordinance, we were so far into their parking lot area that where they store their materials, and he just frankly said, look, this is really going to hurt my business. And so we looked at a different route, and that's what we're looking at here. This one goes through some grass and possibly look at shifting more, a little bit more, working through that to make it the best possible. We'll certainly continue to do that.
Is there any other public comment on this? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the council. What's the wishes of the council?
I recommend you approve resolution.
Brenda, did you have something to say? Okay. Any other? Okay.
I just wanted to clarify one of the points that was raised. When this idea was presented to the street committee, if my memory is correct, there were actually significant improvements to the pedestrian facilities at Martin Luther King Boulevard and School Street. And so I just want to make sure that everybody who's concerned about this understands that this grant doesn't just go towards the trail itself, it also goes towards improving the pedestrian facilities at that intersection.
Any other final comments? Okay. Shawna, would you please call
Teddy?
Yes.
Teddy? Kenneth?
Yes.
Carol? Adams? Yes. Lewis? Yes. Gray? Yes. Pedro?
Yes.
Kenyon?
Yes.
it? Okay. Under unfinished business, number 1, 92